What has been passed today? What were those sticky points, the bones of contention? So let's take a look at it here. First of all, obviously, you know, the one that got everybody talking in the House was all about the reduction of 8% or reduction of VAT on fuel from 16% to 8%. But if you recall the explainer that I gave here about 2 weeks ago, that money has to come from somewhere. So even if he makes a reduction on that, these were those proposals that they were discussing. Let's start with this one. There's an anti-adulteration levy that is being imposed on kerosene at the cost of 18 shillings per litre. Now, the idea of this is also to protect the consumers of kerosene, but to try and discourage users of kerosene and move them into what we call safer forms. The contradiction here is this. In the supplementary budget that was passed in Parliament today, they've cut the funding to the Last Mile project, which would have enabled people to use electricity instead of kerosene, for lighting, for cooking, for a number of others. They've also cut the allocation to LPG gas, which, by the way, was the pilot that would have been the alternative to kerosene. So kerosene is more expensive, and so is LPG, so is electricity. So that means then that it'll be much, much harder for the low-income earner. Here is the other proposal that we need to take a look at, the housing levy. Now, this one is controversial. A lot of you talking about it on social media as well. If you recall, during the finance bill proposals, Treasury had proposed 0.5% for those earning 100,000 and above. The President, in his memoranda, increased that to 1.5% for you if you earn 100,000 and above, and an equal share from your employer. So these are the things that will now go into effect the minute the President signs that. I want to see if I can take you to the next one. Let me see, which way should we go? Here's another one. So it's increasing of excise duty fees on all bank transactions. This is for all banks, all financial institutions, SACCOs, you name it, from 10% to 20%. This means from today, or rather from tomorrow, once the President puts pen to paper on those amendments, you will be charged more for withdrawal fees, ATM fees, bank transfers, you name it. Whatever transactions you do at the bank will now go up to 20%. I want to take you back to yet another one that is important, and this one affects a lot of people. Remember the penetration of mobile phones, mobile money transfers. Well, the duty on that from 10% up to 15%. So if you want to take a look at this, it means that out of every 100 shillings of airtime that you buy, 15 shillings will go to the government. It doesn't mean you will get less, it just means you will pay more for 100 shillings. Your data fees are about to go up, your SMS charges, your voice charges, all of that is about to go up the minute the President signs all of these amendments.